Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. Today we will be continuing the conversation with a person who has spent over 2 decades in sales, and I'm happy to say that he's my father. So let's hear about Mr. Pradeep Manjavekar on his sales journey.
Thank you, Rhythm, for taking out your precious time again today. So let us continue with my journey, which has been very interesting over more than 2 decades. And the reason we are doing this together as a father-son is to make sure that there are a lot of generations which take up the similar profession, and sales is one such profession. So let me share with you all a very important aspect of my sales journey, which started with the land of opportunities in a place called Mumbai. I was a very young lad going for my very first job interview in Mumbai, and the traveling distance was not that far. It was hardly a few kilometers, and I took the most used transport in Mumbai, which was the local train. And the distance was, the time that I had to reach for the interview was, I had taken a 1 hour window, and I took the fastest mode of transport, the Mumbai local train, and it just took me 10 minutes to reach my station where I had to get down for my interview location. And once I got down from the train, to my surprise, I saw my iron shirt was completely spoiled, and it really shook me off, and I was in no mood and no confidence left to go ahead for my first big interview in Mumbai. So I decided I'll just go out of the station, refresh myself with a glass of tea, and return back. So then I exited out of the station, and as I turned on my right hand side, I saw a gentleman who was standing without wearing a shirt, but he was wearing a very good trouser. He was nicely having a good pair of shoes. So I was a bit confused, and then next to him I saw a person ironing his shirt, and both of them looked at me, gave a smile, and told me together, "Welcome to Bombay." Cut to, I was hiding behind a tree, and my shirt was getting ironed because I was not wearing a vest. So that's how I got myself geared up again for the interview, and I reached my location. And that was my first very interesting and memorable experience of how I went for my first interview. So whoever has not experienced working in a metro, I'll always suggest you should spend at least a couple of years of your lifetime in a city like Mumbai, because it's not only your job that will teach you, but it's also these small experiences which will make you really ready for taking on any challenge in life. So continuing from my first job, which was basically promoting top multinational brands across India in places like Mumbai, Goa, Pune, Chennai. So let me start sharing with you one very important gift that I received from one very senior person from the sales industry. And he told me, "Pradeep, you're taking a big step forward in your life and joining one of the most important fraternity, which is a sales fraternity. So this is a gift from me to you, with one promise that you will give it to every salesperson that you feel they deserve to hear this." So it was a story, and it goes this way: that there's this town, let's assume it was in India, and the only source of income in that town was wood cutting. So every year, every person who used to finish his schooling, the only option he had was to take an axe and go on the forest and start cutting wood. The good thing about this town was, end of the year, they used to have a prize distribution where one woodcutter used to get the best woodcutter of the year award. So in the last 10 years, there was only one person who used to get the best woodcutter of the year award, and everyone used to look up to him. So one fine day, there was this new person who joined along with a lot of new woodcutters in the forest. And this year passed by, and the award ceremony came, and the best woodcutter of the year award went to this new person. So this veteran who has been winning this award for the last 10 years got really upset. He went to the Sarpanch, he went to the panel which decided the award, and he told, "How can I give an award or the best woodcutter to someone who has just joined this year. So the panel told this veteran, we don't know, but when we analyzed, when we did all our permutations, combinations, we found out that this new woodcutter is the most efficient woodcutter. If you want to know how he did it, please go and speak to him. So this veteran woodcutter who was very experienced, he went to this new person and he told, what shortcuts did you use so that you could win this award? I want to know each and everything, tell me right now. So this new person told him, so first of all, I have to thank you, because if you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be getting this award. Let me tell you how. Because the moment I joined the forest, I did not start cutting woods for the first couple of days. I just observed each and every woodcutter in the forest, and I found that you were the best. You used to start 8 o'clock in the morning, take your axe and go bang, bang, bang till the end of the day. I exactly did what you did, with a small change. I used to start at 8 o'clock as well, but after every hour of wood cutting, I used to take a break of 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, I used to sharpen my axe. And that's the reason I could get more woods cut and be more productive. So the amount of woods that you could cut, I could do twice of that. So the moral of the story is very true in any field that you apply it to, but more so in sales, because in sales there are a lot of aspects and a lot of situations where we are right there in front of a potential customer, but we are not completely there. So I always ask this one question to me: is my axe sharp enough before I meet any customer? So the question that you should ask is, each and every time before you call up a customer or go and meet a customer, that are you really ready and focused with the same commitment, with the same enthusiasm and passion to pitch that customer? If you're not, do not speak to that customer. You will lose that opportunity. So one thing that you should always ask yourself and your team is, when was the last time you sharpened your axe? So this is one gift that I like to give it to each and every person who is in the sales industry and who is thinking whether he's done the right thing of staying in the sales industry. I will tell you, the most important aspect of any business is sales. If there are no sales, there is no business. So congratulations for being in this industry, and I'm happy to take you forward in my sales journey. So the most important aspect of any sales is meeting people. And over the last 20 years, you could imagine the number of people I would have met across industries. My most memorable ones are the ones that I did in my first year of selling in Mumbai. So let me share with you one of the most interesting meetings that I had with a company, and how did I end up reaching there. That's a very interesting experience. So there's this place in Mumbai called Nariman Point, which is one of the most important corporate hubs in Mumbai, and it has the best companies located there. So when we as a company we used to go direct selling, we were never actually given appointments. Our way was going out there, penetrating the market, doing a cold call and selling. So this area, Nariman Point, had a lot of security in each and every office tower. So most of the towers, they never used to allow an easy access to salespeople, and the security teams were very particular in identifying the salespeople, because maybe we had a signboard that we sell, so they could identify us. So there's this one particular tower, I'll not name it for obvious reasons. They had one of the best security in place, and none of our team members were allowed to get access to that building. So while end of the day everyone came in the office, they used to talk about their experiences. So there's this one tower's name used to pop up, and they used to say, this tower, they are not giving us access. And for me, I took it up as a challenge that I should go there and check it out. So when my colleagues heard about this, they told me, Pradeep, you will not be going alone. We would like to join you to see how you get access, because you say that you can get entry in this tower. I told, okay. So next day morning, I had 3 of my colleagues who joined me. And as a company, we used to have an ID, and we had a silver chain lined up, so the ID used to stay in our pockets. And fortunately, all of us were wearing light-colored formal shirts, and I used to carry a nice folder along with me, which used to have all my documentation. So next morning we took a train, we reached Nariman Point, and I could see the building, and I saw it for the very first time. And to my surprise, I saw there was a long queue of people getting themselves checked and registering their names before they get access to the building. So I told these 3 colleagues of mine that we all will go together in a formation of 2 by 2. So I and one colleague will be leading and 2 will be following. So I just told them one thing, that while we're entering the building, you all don't have to look at your left or your right. We'll just walk straight. And there were some 8 or 9 steps to enter that building. So I took the lead, and as we were approaching the last step to enter, we did not follow the queue. So we were actually just going up, and there's this very good bodybuilder type person who was a security guard who came and he stood right in front of me, and he told me, "Yes sir, what are you doing?" At that point I didn't know what to do, so I just removed my ID card. I showed it to him and I told him, "Income tax." I kept it here. He moved. I straight away went inside. I could see the lift man. He stood up. He assumed that there were some important people who have come in the building. I entered the lift. I immediately pressed the top floor, which is always my favorite floor to start with. And we reached the top floor. There was complete silence in the lift. All my colleagues were having pin drop silence. We reached up, and in the top floor there was again another security who asked me for my business card. I told him, "I don't have a business card, but give me a post-it. I'll write something and give it to the reception." So when I saw the reception, I saw there were 3 ladies at the reception desk. It was a huge reception, and they had to know who are the visitors before opening the door to welcome us. So I wrote my note on a post-it, told the security guard to give it to the lady in the center. So the moment this lady read this note, she came personally, she opened the door, welcomed us, and took us to the conference room. My colleagues that time asked me that, "What did you write in the note?" I told, "Ma'am, you were wearing a very beautiful sari, regards Pradeep." So that's how we were taken into the conference room, and we were offered beverages, and we were asked, "Whom would you like to meet?" So I introduced myself and I told them that we're doing a special campaign out here. We're representing a very important brand, and we'd like to meet your purchasing manager. So the response we got was, "You're really lucky. The purchasing manager is having a meeting right next door. Let him finish, wait for some time, and he'll come and join you." Within 10 minutes, we have a gentleman who comes in our conference room. He is very happy to meet us, and within 2 minutes, I pitch him, and he's like very happy with it. He takes us to his cabin, and he's like, "Okay, let's go ahead with it. And whenever you pass down this area, please make sure you come and pay us a visit." And I was carrying 15 packages, so whatever I was selling, I was completely sold out. So it was the first pitch of the day, completely sold out. I came down. While I came down in the building, that same bodyguard type person, the security person, he came and he's like, "Sir, I know you're not an income tax person, you're in sales." And I got a big hammering from the big officer upstairs. "I see daily up to 200 to 300 people who come in this complex to sell something, but I've never seen someone who's come with so much confidence. So it was good, but please do not repeat it." So we exited out of the building. Still my colleagues did not want to talk to me. So they told me, "Let us have tea." So I was like, "Okay, let us join." So they told me, "No, 3 of us want to have tea, you please stay away, we want to chat something." I'm like, "Okay." So I went to a different side, had my tea. 10 minutes passed by, 20 minutes passed by. I looked out for my colleagues, they were not to be seen. I had a great day, so I'm like, "Okay, might as well go to office." So I took my train back, reached office, and my manager told me, "Pradeep, yes, welcome back. Our president of the company, he would like to have a word with you. I'm like, maybe, because I've come early in the office, you'd want to see me. So as I entered his cabin, he was facing towards the wall, and as he heard me, entering, and he's like, "Oh yes, you must be Pradeep, right?" I'm like, "Yes, please have a seat." So, how's the Income Tax Department of India doing? I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "What you've done today is amazing, but we've just lost 3 of your colleagues because they've called up stating that this person is the only person who can do sales. You're not meant to be for selling, and if this is the way he'll be entering towers which do not allow, then we do not want to do sale." So this was one very memorable experience, but this was just thinking out of the box. I'll not advise this to salespeople because this is too risky. But that time, that spur of the moment, I had to do that just to gain access to the building. For me, positively, it worked out for me. So it's experiences like these which make it really, really special. Mumbai is a place which is one of the most interesting locations around the world for sales, especially because at one given point of time, there are at least 25 to 30 different company representatives in any of these corporate blocks. And one of the most important blocks in Mumbai is again the Bombay Stock Exchange area. Bombay Stock Exchange, the people who work there, the brokers out there, they are extremely tired throughout the first half of the day. But the moment they take a break, they are completely relaxed. And their breaks generally are around the 3:30, 3:45 p.m. mark. So I used to regularly visit Bombay Stock Exchange to, get myself inspired by seeing these people, who used to be very smartly dressed and who used to come down at around 3:30 for their sandwiches and a glass of juice. So I used to always have my sandwich juice at that time and just observe these people. And one day I was not having a good day in that area. So around till 2 o'clock I had not sold anything. And because I was only on a commission basis sales, so if I did not sell, I did not earn money. And if I did not earn money, I will not be able to, get my basics for that day. So I told myself, why don't I today go and talk to these stockbrokers? So while having a sandwich and a juice, I just started a conversation very slowly with a broker who was very much, you could make it out he was very busy, but still he gave me his few seconds. So I told him that, I'm doing this special campaign in this area and we are representing this particular brand. So he's like, okay, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you come with me up to my office? So he took me to his office, and after hearing me out, he told me to visit 3-4 other offices, and every office that I went to, I could sell what I was selling. It took me at least 2 weeks to completely reach each and every broker in the stock market building, and that became one of my most lucky and positive areas in Mumbai. So many of my colleagues who were facing challenge, they used to tag along with me. I used to take them along in the fort area, in the stock exchange area, and share with them that happiness after a sale. So in sales, it's not only you doing selling, but you need to also inspire your colleagues, your team members about some good practices that can also help them do better in sales. So Mumbai was really interesting and a lot of memories, but I would like to take you from Mumbai to a place which is very, very special again. It's down south of India called Chennai. In Chennai, when we reached there, the first day it was test marketing. So we went to the market just to get a feel of it. So we were promoting this brand Domino's, and South India, especially Chennai, is the land of dosas. So I generally used to take a location for myself and I used to scan it and then start. But for a change, I thought, let me just start. So the very first building that I started, the very first office that I reached was a detective agency. So it was very dark in there. So I entered, and at the reception, no one was there. So I shouted out loud that, hello, anyone there? So my sound echoed, and I got a bit scared that, what's this happening? So I heard a sound, yes, tell me. And this gentleman came out and I was like, okay, where are you coming from? I don't know why, I don't know how it came in my mind. I told them I'm representing an American dosa company. And for a South Indian person to hear dosas that to American, it's very, intriguing. So he's like, please come in. He took me straight inside. He heard me out. And he introduced me to the owner of the company. And I was completely sold out. He asked me how many, coupons are you carrying? So I was carrying 15, that was my lucky mascot, and I was sold out in the first pitch in Chennai. So I just came down and I was just laughing that, if I wouldn't have told him I'm representing an American dosa company, I would have never got a chance to meet the owner. So at times it's not only about, you representing yourself, it's also you representing, keeping in mind the ethics, keeping in mind the way it will be taken into consideration. So one thing I always tell everyone when I meet salespeople is understand who your target audience is. Don't just have a similar pitch. Understand what your customer will be more interested in understanding you more about. So if you gauge the markets and the mindset of people, if you're a salesperson, you need to understand who are you talking to. You can't be talking to different industries in the same way. You need to have a rapport building going on. And how can that happen? It needs to happen quick. It needs to happen within the first 10 or 15 seconds. So go out there, be passionate about what you're doing, and always remember one thing: meet more people, have more fun, and if you're doing that, you'll definitely make more money. One thing that I always remember is not one particular company or one particular customer can determine whether your product is a success or a failure. So if you sometimes just get rejected, don't get boggled. One such thing, and once the moment I experienced when I just entered without an appointment in a company, and by mistake I just walked into a conference room where there was a meeting with 15 to 20 senior executives right there, and I entered with a lot of passion, a lot of attitude. I went in, I go, hi everyone, I'm Pradeep here, I'm representing this. The response I got was just get out. And I was with a colleague of mine. He ran down the company. I just came out of the conference room, went to the reception, completely demotivated, and I sat down at the reception. I sat down. No one asked me because they all felt that he's waiting for someone. And then after an hour or so, the same team which was in the conference room came out. The person who told me get out, he saw me and he's like, I don't know what you're selling, I know you're a salesperson, I'm buying whatever you're selling. So he took me to his cabin and I asked him one thing. So why are you buying without even knowing what I'm selling, and how did you know that I'm a salesperson? I get a lot of sales visitors who come in, who meet me. The moment you opened your mouth, I knew you were a salesperson. But the way you showed patience by sitting in the office after hearing those words that I should have not told you, that's respect to you, and please continue doing what you're doing. And whenever you're here in this area, please pay me a visit, and feel free to reach out to everyone in the office, but do not enter meetings. And I was sold out in the meeting. So what I took from that experience was, at times a customer will be not in a receiving frame of mind. So whenever you meet someone, whenever you're talking to someone for the first time, ask him whether it's a good time for you to have a conversation, because he needs to be on the receiving mode. The moment you're not in a frame of mind to listen to someone, that person, even though he'll be giving you the best deal, it's of no use to you. So I get a lot of calls from sales people, from telecallers, who straight away start off. So I always tell them, hang on. If you really want to tell me or explain me what you're doing, ask me whether I'm ready to listen to you. The small thing, when you ask someone, is this a good time to talk to, it can completely gauge the attention, and the conversation can go in the direction you would want to take it to. So for today, the most important advice that I would give to each and every person who is in the customer acquisition and business development arena is never give up. The moment you give up, that's it. And I would like to end with you a small incident that happened when I thought that was my last day of sales. I entered a tower, it was like almost 30 floors in Mumbai. And I completed each and every floor, and I reached to the mezzanine level after completing all the floors. And no one was ready to listen to me. And I told that time to myself that Pradeep, by the time you come to the ground floor and you're not sold even one of the products that you're selling, you will not do sales from that day onwards. And the last company that I visited, it was almost closure time, and I just gave my worst pitch ever, as if I was dying. And that person somehow thought that I wanted to, have some glass of water. He took me inside his office. After hearing me out, he was so excited. He called all his friends from other offices, and I was completely sold out. So I came out of the building, I looked up at the sky, I sat down in front of the building, and I looked up and told God why. So he gave me a signal that Pradeep, you will be continuing sales. And I'm very happy after 20 years till date I sell. So I hope these experiences of mine will give you a little bit of an inspiration and idea to do better on a daily basis. And remember, whoever sells is not only a salesperson, is the most important member of any organization. And who is the best salesperson? It's a mother. We'll tell you more about this the next time we meet. Thank you so much.